Victor came face to face with the person he feared most in his life, Daniel. Without hesitation, he gave up on the boat and took off running. They headed straight into the woods. Frank demanded to know why he was running. Their son was still waiting for them to rescue him. Victor told him not to worry. He said he knew where there was another boat. As they walked, Frank got straight to the point. He asked why that woman, Maddie, made Victor so uneasy. Was he really the Victor everyone kept talking about? Victor was struggling to come up with an excuse when he suddenly realized they had arrived. Frank followed his gaze and froze. It was nothing but a rotten old dinghy. Useless. But Victor was already rummaging through it and said, I used it years ago, before we found each other. I haven't been trying to use it. I just didn't want to walk the rest of the way. Then Victor tried to convince him. He told Frank to go back. Rescuing their son would be his responsibility. Frank was about to refuse when zombie screams echoed in the distance. Frank rushed toward the sound, while Victor turned back to the yacht to look for something. A zombie ambushed Frank, knocking him to the ground. His knife flew out of reach. He could only hold the creature back with his hands, desperately trying not to get bitten. Then a sword pierced straight through the zombie's skull. Victor had found what he was looking for. That sword had once been the symbol of power. At the height of Black's authority, there was no time to explain. More zombies were approaching. They had to leave. They walked on foot until nightfall, killing who knew how many zombies along the way. As they traveled, the two finally opened up to each other. Frank guessed that Klaus might not have been kidnapped by Maddie at all. Instead, the boy probably saw his mother in her and chose to help her escape. Victor took Frank's hand and said he wasn't the Victor everyone claimed him to be. After clearing things up, the two finally reconciled. They continued walking and spotted a speedboat by the shore. It was the same one Maddie had taken. There was a faint light coming from a nearby house. Someone had to be inside. They were right. Maddie was there, but she had already fallen unconscious. Klaus was carefully taking care of her. Seeing Maddie reminded him of his mother, which was why he helped her escape. Seeing their son safe, the two fathers finally relaxed. Klaus explained that Maddie was suffering from oxygen deprivation. He begged them to save her. Otherwise, she wouldn't survive much longer. Victor crouched beside Maddie, his head throbbing again. He couldn't leave her to die, but saving her meant exposing more about himself. Later, Victor found several more decayed dinghies in the forest and pulled oxygen tanks from inside them. It was obvious these were the same boats they had used when they first came ashore 7 years ago. Anyone would find it suspicious. How did Victor know exactly where everything was? Klaus quickly stepped in to stop the argument. Saving her mattered more than debating this. Just then, they saw flames on the water. It had to be the people tracking Maddie. They needed to leave immediately. Normally, Victor would abandon Maddie without hesitation, but Klaus refused. He was kind-hearted. He was a father. Victor had always taught him to help others. Was all of that just an act? Victor's head ached. His son's words struck him deeply. In the end, he told Frank to take Klaus and leave first. Victor stayed behind to help Maddie. Meanwhile, the trackers were closing in. Victor rushed back into the house and used the oxygen tank to revive Maddie. The moment she woke up, the first thing she asked was where Klaus was. I sent Klaus away with Frank, Victor said, so you can throw me to the wolves again. It wasn't unfair for Maddie to think that. That had always been Victor's nature. But this time, he truly wanted to change. He had promised his son that he would help her. Maddie didn't believe him. As they fled together, she kept talking. You're this kind of person, she